All right, greetings, surf fans. Welcome to Happy Hour, or as we like to call it, the 8:05 post show. This is going to be a fun one as we've just wrapped up day one of competition here at the Lexus US Open of Surfing. I'm Chris Cote, Carla Kamara. We got Sam Bleakley over there. We got our 8:05 board. That means it's time to have some fun, to really tie a bow around day one of 20 days of competition. We know there's a lot of surfing yet to come, but today was pretty telling. All of our surfers, male and female, on the Longboard Tour, working their way through various conditions. I would say all of our conditions today, quite challenging on the smaller side, and in the afternoon the wind came up, but what we saw is these longboarders really rising to the challenge of that and making beautiful things happen in a quite messy situation.
Yeah, I mean, even Khalees Keleopaha, she just gets a couple of threes, but the way she surfed those threes was so graceful. And J.R. Esquivel, he was incredible, setting the field ablaze from that first heat.
He really did set the tone right from the get-go, really being explosive with those, I think he had 5s and 6s, and just setting the standard right off the bat.
And finishing the day in a strong way is the winner of that last heat. Natalyia Wunderlich is standing by now with A.J. McCord.
Natalyia, what a way to wrap up day one here at Huntington. You got a 5th place finish here last year. Just how much confidence does that give you coming into this 2025 season?
It feels good. I definitely felt the most confident at Huntington last year. So coming back for the first stop of the tour this year feels good. Yeah.
And to add to that confidence, one of the highest wave scores of the entire day came from you in that heat. Talk me through that wave.
Honestly, I lost my board on the wave before that, so I was feeling a little discouraged, but I was just like, stay positive. You know, the conditions aren't the best, and you only have so much time to surf the way you want, and it came out of nowhere, and I was just really grateful. Yeah.
Understandably so. So now one heat win down. Just how do you approach the rest of this competition?
Honestly, quiet mind, stay positive, and just keep it simple. Yeah.
It's worked out so far. Congratulations. We'll see you in the next one.
Thank you so much.
A 7-point ride in conditions like that must have felt like a 10.
Yeah, those little moments of poise, they really were important today. If you found a bit of space on the face and you could get the lift, and that was a really significant moment because the previous 2 heats had been super challenging, and she just had all of that magic in that lifting nose ride and gets one of the best scores of the round.
Yeah, I think that's what set her apart, was being able to have that elegance in those kind of moments where, you know, among the chaos, if you will, and that was able to shine through and give her that 7.
Well, we did see some shining moments throughout the day. One of the heats we would like to talk about is Women's Heat 2. This one featured some heavy hitters in our sport, Hiroka Yoshikawa, and of course Honolua Blomfield. This was one of those heats, and they were going out. It was kind of, you know, we didn't really have any idea of what the conditions were going to throw at us. We did know that Honolua was going to go out there and perform, but unfortunately, and I was just in the unfortunate situation of walking by Hano as she was walking out, and I said, congratulations. I was talking about the baby. She thought I was talking about the heat. That was a little embarrassing for me because she did not perform as she wanted to. Flip side of that, you had your surfers in white and your surfers in blue. Go out there and really put on a show for us in rough conditions.
Yeah, Philly was brilliant, and it was really great to see the exchange in the leaderboard, that everybody was in first at different phases in that heat. But Honolua coming back so strong after the break, having her baby Rain. And of course, we also got to see him on camera with Clay. But unexpected, Hiroka Yoshikawa, she just stayed busy and true, and she found those more connected rides that allowed her to link together that quick opening nose ride with some rail turns. And it was a really good demonstration of Hiroka's experience, the fact that she wasn't daunted coming up against the 3-time Women's World Longboard Champion.
She's an experienced surfer with incredible footwork and an incredible tool belt on her, you know, waistline, and just able to really put together a nice set of combined maneuvers.
And look at that resin swirl, tie-dye style, psychedelic art on the bottom of her board, shaped by her dad as well.
Yeah, this has got to be the coolest board paddock we've had of the entire year so far. And there you see the spread right there. Not used to seeing Honolua Blomfield in 3rd place, but guess what? She's got another chance. These opening rounds, non-elimination rounds, so Honolua will find herself in the second round, which is an elimination round. She'll most likely go down tomorrow morning. We'll see what happens when we do make the call. So flipping the script over from the women to the men, we had some big heats go down earlier today. One of the heats we want to talk about is men's heat 3. Jack Van Wagoner, Kai Sallas, and Nelson Ahina. This was a fun one, of course, on paper because we're seeing some unique craft. Look at that fin. That right there is an added element of danger to any big log. But give it up for all three of these surfers. It was Jack Van Wagoner that got the edge in this one.
Yeah, and Carly, you know he comes from Carlsbad, so you know the familiarity he has with surfing these style waves, it demonstrated today.
Yeah, and being at home, kind of on quote-unquote your home turf, being able to probably sleep in your own bed, that definitely helps your situation out quite a bit. And it's always going to be hard to go up against a man like Kai Sallas, who is the silent assassin, I believe Chris coined him, and he is. And so, but Jack was able to put it all together and get the win, move on to round 3.
And the cool thing is Jack's sister Reed will be competing in the women's on the Challenger Series. So we've got a lot of sister-brother duos. We've also got the Inuis, Kaede and Taka, brother and sister in the men's. And Jack didn't hold back today. He looked great, as did Nelson, as did Kai. But for Jack to take the win, that was an unexpected result.
I mean, endless storylines already, and we're only on day 1, so we know that day 2 is gonna be another novel here at Huntington Beach Pier. So super fun one to watch there. I just saw Kai Sallas come down, had a little conversation with him. He said, yeah, you gotta practice when the waves are good, but you really have to practice when the waves are bad. So he was already making his way back out there to try to rebound.
And you know what has been significant about today is a lot of the Michael Takayama riders have shone. Chloe Calmon on her Michael Takayama, Jack on his Michael Takayama.
Yeah, the Takeyamas are definitely working good and, you know, providing these riders with the scores that they need.
Well, one thing we know for certain is that the surfboards are going to be very cool looking down here. And also, there will be waves. Huntington Beach has waves nearly 365 days a year. So to see what we have on tap for us tomorrow and into the rest of the week, let's take a look at our Surfline Forecast. Surfline is literally on top of the action across the highway from us, looking down at the waves right now. So our Surfline Forecast looks like this. I'm seeing the word fun a lot. So we're looking at fun waves throughout this opening portion of the window. And I'm really glad that we're starting with longboarding because these waves really, I feel like, they're tailor-made for the skill sets of the surfers coming down here on these 9-foot-plus boards. Of course, it's going to be a challenge on any conditions in the afternoons. But you see right here, morning, nice winds early on, afternoon. It's going to chip up a little bit in the realm of the wind. But we know all of our competitors are ready and willing to face any waves here in Huntington, any size. So expect things to amplify throughout the rest of the week. And speaking of amplifying, pretty excited about our top 5s today because, you know, we've been down here all day. We've been right here on top of the action. I'm sure some of you have been watching, have been in and out. So this is where we go through the heats, pick our favorite moments. We have your top 5 moments. Are you guys ready?
I'm ready.
All right, well, fasten your seatbelts at home on the couch. Here are your top 5 moments from day 1 here at the Lexus US Open of Surfing, presented by Pacifico here. Your top 5 moments, Aero, the way Wi-Fi should be on the 8:05 post show. Let's start with JR ruling the morning. 3 waves in that high range in the first 3 minutes of this heat. He had this thing wrapped up with 28 minutes left to go.
Yeah, he had such a quick start. And Carla, you know his territory and you know the fan base and you know the pride of the Philippines team, and he just hit the ground running in style.
No, I think he feeds off that.
Number 4, Hiroka Yoshikawa came through as a silent assassin in this one.
Yeah, our female silent assassin, as we mentioned earlier, she's just got impeccable footwork. She's back on tour, having had a break last year, and so it's great to see her come away with that win there and advancing into the round 3.
Did it with style, did it with grace, and great wave selection as well. And this was later in the afternoon, so a challenging win there. And then, of course, Taylor Jensen, reigning world champ, reigning US Open champ, 4-time world champ, and he wants more.
The big man, he's so strong, he's so good, but he's so light-footed, he's like a basketball player, and he is able to make every section of every wave count on his trusted 9.6 Singleton board. He looked incredible, and he's going for his 5th world title. That is pretty mind-bending to consider the longevity of his career and the fact that he's potentially surfing better than ever right now.
100%. I think it's like wine with age, right? You get better.
One of the best nose riders and one of the most powerful surfers on the Longboard Tour, Taylor Jensen, coming correct, as well as our other returning champion. It was a good day to be a reigning champ, as Rachael Tilley went out there, full confidence, full stoke, and a lot of style. She got the edge here in her heat, and what a way to do it.
Yeah, and I always like to celebrate the Hoffman fabric inlay on her surfboards. It always looks good, and she does the great surfing. And of course, her dad on the sand, having competed here for so many years, and she is the defending champion. And she just came out confident, smooth, committed, stylish. And Carla, it was difficult to find space on the waves today, but she did a great job at getting the links up.
Yeah, as we've mentioned before, she's no stranger to this wave, to winning here. So she just kind of put her experience, you know, down in front of the other ladies and said, here, I'm going to get the job done.
You know, and that pre-event pedicure for our male and female surfers coming in handy today, because we saw a lot of time on the nose, including our number 1. This is Chase Leader. Pair of 6.77s, 13.54, the highest heat total of the day. Chase was on a good one today.
And another Michael Takayama rider. So I think Michael has won the prize today for the Shapers rankings, because his boards have been on fire. And look at the charisma of the Guberford from Montauk. We saw Chloe Calmon also win for New York, but Chase, he was ice cool, and he did a great job representing in the booth for a heat as well.
Oh, he was a pleasure to have up here. He's a pleasure to always, you know, chat with and talk with and have him up here, just his youthful energy. And yes, as you mentioned, the Takayama boards really working well, being able to, you know, put them right in that crisp part of the pocket, and then being lively on the rail and the tail work. So yeah, really putting it together for Chase Leader.
Well, today could have been considered Funnington Beach. That's a pun I brought from yesterday. So it looks like and it feels like the waves are going to be continue to be in this realm. So we want to make sure you guys tune in tomorrow morning, because that's when it's glassy. That's when we get a little vision of what's to come. And of course, tomorrow things are going to escalate a little bit. They will be elimination rounds. So thank you so much for watching day 1 here at the Lexus US Open of Surfing. This has been the 805 post show. We're going to wrap it up with some greatest hits of the day. But don't forget, set your alarm. Tune in tomorrow morning. Live coverage starts at 7:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We'll see you then.
This copyrighted event broadcast is produced by the World Surf League for broadcast around the world and may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the written consent of the World Surf League.